Get started with this video, don't forget to like this video, comment on this video, and subscribe. Like it, share it, do that, okay? Do it for me. What up, everybody? What up, everybody? Let's talk about it. It's April Dawn. What up, everybody? It's April Dawn. What up, everybody? It's April Dawn. Let's talk about it. What up, everybody? This is April Dawn. Let's talk about it. This is 911 Season 4, Episode 6. So this was a pretty run-of-the-mill episode, which I enjoy from 911. So this review is not going to be too exciting. Last week I didn't do a review because I really didn't think the episode was, anything to review. It was kind of like Buck's origin story, which was cute, but I didn't feel like reviewing it because it wasn't nothing really to talk about. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to waste any time. Let's go ahead and get into it. So we start off with a high-speed chase. Somebody has stolen a fire truck and Tina is following them in pursuit. Then we go back in time and we see Buck. He's cleaning up. He's looking fresh. He's looking new. He's looking very awake. And this is Buck 3.0. He says his parents have agreed to go to some sessions with him. And, he feels like if they're going to try, then he's going to try as well. And a new guy has just finished up his first shift. And he says, they asked him how did it go. And he says, well, it was pretty quiet. Everybody's like, oh, my God, quiet, quiet. So basically, this is the theme. There's a curse or there's a jinx on them, and they're going to have a busy day anytime somebody says the word quiet. So we go through this whole series of flashbacks showing us when Bucks first started working there, and he said something about it being quiet, and there ended up being 36 calls in one day. So the first call that they get is a dude stuck to a sign. He taped himself to a billboard that he paid for all day long for his new album to drop. Y'all catch his new album on iTunes. It's called Stuck on You. And he's up there on the billboard, stuck up there with some duct tape. So they try to get him to come down, and he doesn't want to come down. At the same time, there's an accident going on because I guess they were looking at the sign, and this old man hit this girl. So they got a lot of stuff going on already. Buck goes up there. Like I said, he tries to convince the man to come down, and the man is naked underneath the duct tape, and he doesn't want to come down. Later on, Tina says that she finds out that his story is true. He did pay for the billboard all night long, but as she's saying this, the tape starts to come unstuck, and he falls down, but they have set up, this thing for him to fall off of. Now, Bobby says because he doesn't believe in all this, quiet jinx thing, but because of that, the team often makes a lot of mistakes throughout the day. They forget to do certain things, things kind of just fall apart, so he knows that it's going to be a crazy day. Now, at the car accident, Eddie runs into Miss Flores. Y'all remember Miss Flores? She was Christopher's English teacher, and she has the ice pack on her hand, and he's like, I don't know who gave you this. And she said, oh, there's a firefighter from the 147 that came to help. And he was like, okay, that's kind of weird, but you don't put ice on a burn. So he fixes her with her burn, and they have a sort of awkward conversation. Apparently, she has a new job. She's finished her doctorate. She's a vice principal now, so she doesn't work at the same school anymore. So this is obviously a little opening for Eddie to ask her on a date because Lady is really pretty, but he don't take the bait because he's kind of nervous. So as soon as the crew gets back to the station, they get call after call after call, and they're trying to eat some macaroni and cheese, child, but they keep getting called out for all different kind of reasons. Squid on people's face, like people in the movies getting stuck underneath the chair, and the kids in the washing machine. Like, it was a lot of stuff going on that day. Eddie and Buck talk about Miss Flores and what happened between each other as they're going to a call about helium balloons where everybody's talking with the helium voice. That was pretty funny. As they get back in the truck, Eddie talks about how this is just, this is crazy. He doesn't believe in all of this superstition stuff. Like, y'all are talking crazy. This doesn't exist. As they say that, an electricity line falls directly on the truck. Now, if you know anything about electricity outside the vehicle, you should not get out the vehicle. You should stay in the vehicle. Back at 911, they're discussing the weird calls as they're getting back and forth from each other, and the supervisor is getting texts from Buck or to make sure that everybody's okay. And Shimmy says that he needs some bay leaves and he needs some bells because he finna do a spell to rid them of this demon that they got following them all day long. Now, in the truck, they're arguing about, how they gonna do the spell. Should they move their hands like this to cast it out, or should they wash on or wash off, basically? And Eddie is still talking about how he doesn't believe in this mess. It's all, fake. They're having a bad day. It's not that big of a deal. Doesn't have anything to do with the jinx. And then I like, Cap, do you believe what's going on? He's like, well, everybody's superstitious. We all do this and that and the other, even wear good luck chains around our neck because Eddie has that chain that he wears around his neck. So what's wrong with what Chimney's doing? And him was like, you really didn't answer the question, though. I'm just saying, as they're talking, the 133 arrives, but they stop to take pictures, which is even more embarrassing. Back at the station, Eddie is awake, and so is everyone else. They're up all night long, and Buck brings up Miss Flores, they asked what love language Anna is, what is Anna's love language? And they're all like, who is Anna, child? Who is that? He's like, oh, this is Christopher's teacher. He didn't ask her on a date. He kind of choked her, whatever the case may be. So he gets out of that because the alarm rings again. And there's a fire in a garage in the neighborhood. Now, the man talking about it's just some old files and it's just some Christmas decorations. But then we see fireworks blasting off, child. So it's a 2-alarm fire. He got $10K worth of firecrackers that he was going to sell to the neighbors. And so the police come out there and they're trying to help. Now, as Eddie's trying to hook up the hose to do something, this firefighter from the 147 magically appears out of nowhere and, assists him. And he says, thank you for the help. Somebody from your station helped this woman earlier today. They gave her an ice pack, but, tell them don't do that because that could, really hurt her. And he was like, okay, man, thank you or whatever. So he kind of disappears into the night. Bobby shows up and he's like, this guy from the 147, he just helped me out. And he was like, well, nobody from the 147 is here. After the landslide, they got taken out of commission. There's nobody there. And so he's like, okay, well, who the hell was I talking to then? Captain and Eddie kind of figure out that this dude is like impersonating a firefighter. He could be out here trying to harm people. And Eddie was like, nah, he seemed like he genuinely wanted to help. And Cap was like, well, I know he might have wanted to help, but, he can end up doing more harm than helping people. Those kind of guys that can't let go. They don't make it through training, basically saying that they can't let go of the fact that they want to be a firefighter. And so he kind of segues this into a talk about Eddie's wife and how Eddie's wife died and he can't seem to let her go. And it's okay to move on. Eddie's like, I'm not over her yet. And he's like, okay, well, you'll never be over her. But, every day when you wake up, you'll start to heal more. You'll start to not think about her as the first thing on your mind. And so he asked him, do he love his family? And Bobby's like, of course I love the family that I have now. I love the kids, but that doesn't make me miss, the family that I don't have any less. So at this burger place, mom and son are getting a burger and the man is getting mad because the name of the place is Jim's and they keep calling him Jim, but his name is Larry. Okay, and they sit down to eat their food outside and all of a sudden the man throw a chair through the window and tell everybody to run for their life. So when the police show up, he's like, okay, well, what happened was the fire chief called me and said that there was a gas leak. And he said, I need to break all the windows and tell everybody to leave. So that's what I did. And he like, damn, I'm finna lose my job. Golly, they kept calling him Jim. And he was like, my name is Larry, bitch. Larry, ho. They've already deduced that it's this same guy that's calling people, impersonating the police officer. So what happened was, Bobby turns around and he's like looking around and he sees the guy standing in the parking lot and he starts to chase him. And then Buck starts to chase him, but he gets away. He gets into the fire truck and he drives away. Now Athena chases him. So they chase him all through the streets. They try to, get him surrounded, but he backs up and he keeps driving. So back at the site, the guys decide to get into an ambulance to kind of like go to the next scene, to the next call, which is like a 3 or 5 alarm fire. It's like a big fire. So Eddie calls the guy on the phone and he talks to him about letting go. You need to let this go. You need to, we know you're trying to do something good. And dude's like, I'm not a hero. I'm not like you. I'm not a hero. But he convinces him to take the truck to the site, where the fire is. So he gets out of there and the police, jump on top of him. They arrest him and he going to jail, baby. So it's finally the end of their shift. And as they're leaving, Bobby's like, hey, guys, I want to buy you breakfast. Let's all go to breakfast. So they all decide to go to breakfast except for Eddie because Eddie got a little date or whatever. We see the crew eating breakfast and they're having a good time. They do a little toast with, they forks and they about to tear it up. And child, this lady started choking. They like, oh my God. So they have to stop and they got to rescue this lady from choking. And here's another call to 911. And we see Eddie meeting up with the teacher and she looks real cute. She coming up in there with her mask and, her little cast or whatever. And he was like, I know, I thought it wasn't weird for me to call. And she was like, no, I'm happy you called or whatever. Because you look good, baby. You fine or whatever. I don't know what you talking about. He asked him about this horrible day that they're supposed to have. And he was like, I think it turned out pretty good. So that was the end of the episode. Like I said, 911 is always cute. It's been pretty run-of-the-mill this week. So y'all know they about to come with it in a couple of weeks. It's going to be some drama, okay? So I'm filming this video on a Tuesday. It'll probably be up by Wednesday. And just know that we're going to do a Queen Sugar live review at 6:30 p.m. Central Time. Queen Sugar, y'all catch me season 5, I think, episode 2. So yeah, we're going to be doing that review live. 6:30 p.m. Central Time. So y'all check me out then, okay? So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And share this video with all your friends. And I will holler at you next time. Peace.